Want to know the truth about why some people are unforgettable while others are forgotten within days? In the next few minutes, I'm going to reveal the exact method that will allow you to occupy her mind day and night, no matter how hard she tries to forget you. The difference between being a simple memory and becoming an obsession lies in what you'll learn today. Let me ask you something. How many times have you felt that you give too much and receive very little in return? How many times have you wondered why she seems distant, while you can't stop thinking about her? The problem isn't that you're not enough. The problem is that you don't understand the invisible rules that govern human attraction. The first rule you must understand is that strategic absence creates constant presence in her mind. When you're always available, you become predictable, and predictable is never fascinating. Neil Strauss explained it perfectly when he said, "Familiarity kills attraction." It's not that you should disappear completely, but that you must understand the power of intermittence. Have you ever noticed how dating apps use intermittent notifications? It's no coincidence. They know that when you receive rewards unpredictably, your brain generates more dopamine than when you receive them consistently. The same applies to relationships. When she knows exactly when you'll respond, when you'll see her and how you'll react, her brain gets bored. There's no mystery, no challenge. To apply this in your life, start by establishing a pattern and then subtly breaking it. If you always respond to her messages instantly, wait an hour next time. If you talk every day, take a day for yourself. It's not about ignoring her. It's about creating a space where she can miss you. As an exercise, the next time you're conversing with her and the conversation is at its best, be the one to say, "I have to go, talk later." Watch how her interest increases when you're the one setting the boundaries of the interaction. Repeat this phrase every morning. My presence is a gift, not a guarantee. Because when you start treating yourself as someone valuable, others will too. And this brings us to the next crucial point to ensure she can't get you out of her mind. The second principle you must master is the paradox of interest. The more you chase, the less they want you. It's an uncomfortable but powerful truth. Most men make the mistake of showing too much interest too soon. Begging, constant messaging, premature gifts. All of that communicates one thing: desperation. And nothing kills attraction faster than desperation. Neil Strauss called it the paradox of attraction. What initially attracts a person is the opposite of what keeps them interested. You approached because you were attracted, but she'll stay hooked when she feels she has to work to keep you interested. Have you noticed how people value more what costs them to obtain? It's basic psychology, but few apply it consciously. Think about the last time someone pursued you intensely. Didn't you feel your interest diminish with each desperate message you received? Now imagine the reverse situation. Someone who intrigues you but doesn't seem to need you. Someone who enjoys your company but has a full and satisfying life without you. Wouldn't you find yourself thinking about that person, wondering what they're doing, who they're with? I'm not saying you should be cold or distant. I'm saying you need to find the perfect balance between showing genuine interest and maintaining your independence. When you're with her, be completely present. Listen to her. Connect. Make her feel like the only person in the world. But when you're not together, live your life to the fullest. Develop your passions, pursue your goals, cultivate other relationships. Here's a practical exercise. For every initiative she takes to connect with you, you take 2. But do it at your own pace, not from the anxiety to respond. If she invites you out, accept enthusiastically and then organize 2 more outings in the following weeks. If she writes to you first, respond and then initiate 2 different conversations at different times. This creates a pattern where she sees that you're interested, but also that you have control of the dynamic. Have you ever wondered why some relationships intensify while others fade away? The answer lies in this balance. And speaking of balance, prepare yourself for the third principle that will make her unable to stop thinking about you. The third crucial element is calculated mystery. In a world where everything is instantly accessible, where you can know someone's entire life just by checking their social media, true mystery has become a scarce and valuable commodity. When you're an open book, there's nothing left to discover, nothing to keep her intrigued. Neil Strauss explained it perfectly. Mystery creates curiosity, and curiosity leads to obsession. It's not about inventing a false personality or hiding important aspects of your life. It's about understanding that you don't need to reveal everything about yourself immediately. Gradual revelation is much more powerful than total transparency from the beginning. Have you noticed how the best TV series don't reveal all the secrets in the first episode? They keep elements in suspense, revealing crucial information at strategic moments to keep you hooked. Your personality should work the same way. Let her discover new layers of you over time. In practice, this means that when she asks about your past, your dreams, or your fears, don't dump all the information at once. Share something meaningful, something that creates connection, but hint that there's more to discover. Use phrases like, "That's a story for another time," or "There's more to that story than meets the eye." This isn't manipulation, it's understanding human psychology and applying it to maintain interest. A simple exercise. The next time you have a deep conversation with her, share something personal, but leave a key element unresolved. For example, if you talk about a transformative trip, mention that something unexpected changed your perspective, but don't reveal exactly what it was. Her mind will naturally want to complete the story, and that will make her think about you even when you're not present. Are you starting to see how these principles work together to create a magnetic presence in her mind? It's not about mind games, it's about understanding human nature and working with it, not against it. And this brings us to the fourth principle that will completely change the dynamic between you. The fourth factor you must master is varied emotional stimulation. Most men believe that to be liked by a woman, they must make her feel good all the time. Be nice, pleasing, predictable. But here's the truth that few understand. Intense emotions, whether positive or negative, create much stronger connections than constant comfort. Strauss called it an emotional roller coaster. When you create emotional variety in your interactions, her brain associates that stimulation with you. We're not talking about being cruel or manipulative, but about understanding that the full range of human emotions is what creates deep bonds. Think about the movies that have impacted you the most. Are they those where everything is perfect from beginning to end? No. They're the ones that made you laugh, cry, feel fear, relief, hope, all in 2 hours. The same applies to relationships. When you can make her laugh out loud one moment, then lead her into a deep conversation about life, and then create sexual tension with a look, you're creating a complete emotional experience that becomes addictive. In practice, this means consciously varying your interactions. Not every encounter should be a romantic dinner. Take her to a friendly mini golf competition where you can joke and challenge each other. Then, surprise her with a deep conversation under the stars. The next day, create some tension with a suggestive comment, and then change the subject. This emotional variety makes it impossible for her to classify you and put you in a mental box. An effective exercise. Identify 3 different emotions you want her to experience with you in your next encounter. It could be fun, introspection, and desire. Then, consciously plan moments to evoke each of these emotions. You'll see how this variety makes your presence much more impactful than someone who only offers emotional stability. Isn't it fascinating how small changes in your approach can completely transform how she perceives you? Most never learn these principles and spend their lives wondering why their relationships don't work. You now have knowledge that most don't have. And with this, we approach the 5th and most powerful principle that will make her unable to get you out of her head. The 5th and most powerful element is strategic withdrawal. When you've created an intense connection, when she's completely hooked, the most important moment comes: withdrawing temporarily. This concept is counterintuitive but extraordinarily effective. Strauss explained it this way: attraction grows in absence. When you're constantly available, there's no space for desire to grow. Separation anxiety is one of the most powerful drives in human relationships. Using it correctly can transform casual attraction into obsession. Have you noticed how after an incredible encounter with someone, their absence feels more intense? It's as if the connection created a space in your life that only that person can fill. When they're not there, that space feels bigger, more evident. Your goal is to create that space in her life. Strategic withdrawal works like this. After a particularly deep or exciting moment of connection, create a temporary separation. Don't respond immediately to messages. Take a weekend for yourself. Mention a personal project that will require your full attention for a few days. The crucial thing here is that the separation comes after a high point, not after a conflict or awkward moment. Many men fear that if they're not constantly present, she'll forget them or find someone else. The reality is exactly the opposite. When you withdraw after creating a deep connection, her mind can't stop thinking about you. Neuroscience confirms it. The brain is more active thinking about unfulfilled desires than those that have already been satisfied. A practical exercise. After your next date, especially if it was extraordinary, wait 24 hours before contacting her. It doesn't matter if she writes to you first. Give yourself that time to let the experience settle in her mind. When you finally respond, do so with enthusiasm but brevity, making it clear that you have a busy and satisfying life. You'll see how her interest intensifies notably. The key for this technique to work is to make sure she knows that your absence is not rejection. It's simply that you have a rich and full life independent of her. This communicates a powerful message. Being with you is a choice, not a necessity. And here's a truth that will change your perspective forever. The person who is willing to walk away has the power in the relationship, not because they want control, but because they demonstrate that their personal value doesn't depend on external validation. And paradoxically, this emotional independence is magnetic. Have you realized that everything we've talked about so far comes down to a fundamental truth? Your ability to make her miss you isn't in what you do when you're with her, but in how you handle the relationship with your own life. When you become a complete, confident, and mysterious person, you naturally become someone who is impossible to forget. Now, reflect for a moment. How many of these ideas have you been unconsciously applying in your most successful relationships? How many have you been ignoring in those that didn't work? The difference between success and failure in relationships is often in these small nuances that most are unaware of. I'm not suggesting that you use these techniques to manipulate or control anyone. I'm proposing that you understand human psychology to create deeper and more satisfying relationships. When you understand how the mind works, you can create connections that benefit both parties. These 5 strategies, strategic absence, the paradox of interest, calculated mystery, varied emotional stimulation, and strategic withdrawal, aren't cheap tricks. They're deep psychological principles that have worked for centuries and will continue to work because they're based on human nature. The difference between those who create obsession and those who are forgotten is in these details. The former understand that attraction isn't logical, it's emotional. They don't seek to convince with arguments, but to impact with experiences. They don't try to always be present, but to be unforgettable when they are. Before you go on with your day, I want you to ask yourself an honest question. Are you willing to step out of your comfort zone to implement these principles? Because I guarantee that if you do, you'll not only see changes in how she perceives you, but in how you perceive yourself. You'll become someone who doesn't need constant validation, someone who knows their value and naturally projects it. The most fascinating thing about this process is that, in the end, you won't be acting. You'll have genuinely become that magnetic person who doesn't need to chase because they know how to attract. And that transformation goes far beyond a specific relationship. It changes how you interact with the entire world. Think about the last time you met someone truly magnetic, someone whose presence filled the room, someone whose attention everyone wanted. What characteristics did that person have? I bet many of them align with the principles we've discussed today. That's not an accident. It's the result of understanding and applying these fundamental truths about human nature. Now it's your time to decide. You can keep doing what you've been doing, getting the same results you've been getting, or you can take a step forward, implement these principles, and completely transform your romantic life. The path won't be easy at first. You'll feel uncomfortable, you'll doubt, it's natural. You're challenging deeply rooted patterns, but I promise you that if you persist, The results will speak for themselves. Not only will you make her miss you constantly, but you'll become the type of man who naturally attracts what he desires without apparent effort. I want you to comment below, "I choose to be unforgettable instead of always available." This isn't just a comment, it's a declaration of intent. It's your public commitment to start applying these principles in your life. If this video has opened your eyes to possibilities you hadn't considered before, make sure to like it and share it with someone you think could benefit from this knowledge. Subscribe for more content like this that will help you master not only your romantic relationships, but all aspects of your social life. Activate the bell so you don't miss any video. And remember, what makes you unforgettable isn't your constant pursuit, but your ability to create a space where she can't help but pursue you.